What's up, guys? More Medic One here, and today's video is going to be on this John Deere riding mower. It is a 525E easy track with the twin cylinder 24 horsepower Briggs and Stratton. I almost said brakes and scrap them like Terrell does. This has got the ELS, which is Extended Life Series. It's got the better air filter in it. Obviously, it's missing the air filter screw for that side over there. I suspect a blown head gasket on this engine, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to find out without tearing it apart. So stay tuned and learn you something. First thing I got to do though is get glad I ordered one of those. That thing is going to be sucking in dirt right there. That just didn't get installed correctly. Looks good. We don't have much dirt ingestion. Let's go ahead and get this shroud off so that I can get to the flywheel nut. And also, we're probably going to have to take this rear section off. It's just a few screws, bolts, so that we can get access to the spark plugs better. I really think that that's a little bit cramped, so that I can get my leak down tester in there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this back section and the blower shroud. Just a couple screws here that goes around. There's one or two right in here, and then this will just come straight up. Next time you see it, this section will be removed and the blower shroud's going to be removed. So when this engine is running, you can actually hear a pss, 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 pss sound every time the piston is coming up on compression, and it's leaking the compression past the head gasket. Let me put my compression, well, not my compression tester, but a leak down tester right here in the spark plug hole, and we'll get this thing set up, and I'll show you guys how to properly do a leak down test on just about any small engine. So I've had this leak down tester for years and years from Kohler. And basically it is a 2-gauge leak down tester. You have your tank pressure of your air compressor, and then your business end over here telling you how where your leakage is going. Just a quick visual inspection. Let's see what cylinder. This will be cylinder number 2. It's the farthest away from the flywheel. You can see where the head gasket would go. It's right here. It's pretty clean. But if we come over here to cylinder number 1, we see a lot of sludge, oil, right where that head gasket would go, right here. That is a telltale sign that you have a head gasket that's blown out, but it's not blown out in the oil galley. But we're still going to test it. We're going to use I'm going to use the good cylinder for a baseline and get a reading, and then we'll put the tester on this cylinder and get a reading of the one I think is blown. All right, we got our shop air from our compressor, and we're going to start turning the dial until we get this needle all the way to where it says set. I like to get it to 0 if you can. You can fine tune this thing. This depends on, it gives you a range to set because it depends on how much pressure you have in your tank. So that's as far as it's going to go. I can't go any more, and it's just going to be set to there. And this gauge is messed up. It's got I know it doesn't have that much. It's already past a little stop, but you can buy a cylinder leakage tester. You don't even need this. You really don't even need to know how much pressure is in your main tank. You're just paying attention to this gauge right here. Okay, so we've got our hose hooked up to where the spark plug goes, and then we're going to hook it into the tester right here. Okay, we got our needle on the gauge at 100% leakage. Start turning the engine until you start feeling compression, and this gauge will start rising. Turn it until that piston reaches top dead center on the compression stroke, and as you can tell, we're at a moderate 20% leakage, which is totally acceptable. You can pull the dipstick tube or the dipstick out. If you hear a lot of air coming through here, then that is a telltale sign that you have a lot of blow by past your rings, valves, etc. Now, let's test this other cylinder over here. All right, same test, the other cylinder. Look at there. 60% leakage, and I can hear the air coming out. Right there. There's where that cylinder head gasket is blowing, right there. Quick and easy diagnosis. Now you can call your customer and say, hey, you need a set of head gaskets before you can test anything else out. I mean, that is obvious head gasket. This little tool right here, hey, if you hadn't got one of these, I'm going to put one of these in the description below. And if you're going to do any work to a small engine, you've got to have a cylinder leakage tester. A compression test could possibly have diagnosed this, but it still requires you to pull the engine down to verify. So, I mean, this right here is 100% going to tell you where your compression is going, whether it's a bad cylinder head gasket, rings, valves, etc. This will be a couple of parts. I'm gonna have to take this. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this engine from this tractor and get it on the bench. It's got an oil leak. I'm gonna go ahead and address the oil leak while I have it. So in part two, we'll get this thing torn down and we'll take a look at this blown head gasket. Alrighty guys, hey, we got this engine diagnosed pretty quick. Hey, if this content helped you out, and I know it did, give me a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. And while you're there doing that, go ahead and click that bell so that you get all of my new uploads. Y'all have a good rest of your week. More Medic One.